Welcome to this week's edition of Appleseed Legacy. My name is Gordon Spicer and I'm here to bring you the good green news. Lots to cover this week, so let's go. In business news this week, CEOs of many of the world's largest companies are calling on world leaders to commit to stopping climate change, as reported by EnvironmentalLeader.com. The group, with notables such as Richard Branson and Paul Polman, have called on world leaders to make a pledge to have net zero GHG emissions by 2050. Also, in an interesting story, the ongoing friction between Apple and Tesla has reached a new level, as reported by CleanTechnica.com. An anonymous Apple employee has made comments implying that Apple will attempt to produce its own electric vehicle in direct competition with Tesla. Meanwhile, many companies that have outsourced labor to the developing world are having second thoughts, as reported by CompaniesAndMarkets.com. In light of recent publicity about the pollution and social detriments of outsourced labor, companies such as TELUS have sought to ensure that any outsourcing is done in a sustainable manner. GM has also announced its plans to produce a 200-mile range EV in Michigan. Pays.org reports that the car is meant to be a direct competitor for the sale of Tesla Motors. The EV, along with the 200-mile range, will be priced around $30,000. This is the GM Bolt. Finally, Alteros Energy has created a floating wind turbine. The idea, according to Fizz.org, is the brainchild of CEO Ben Glass, who hopes that the technology will allow people to harness the more powerful winds that are higher above the surface of the planet. You know what? It doesn't stop here, and it's all good news. In science news this week, a group of scientists from the University of Michigan have been pushing for more climate change intervention, as reported by ScienceDaily.com. The researchers say that the technology to reduce climate change, such as carbon dioxide removal and carbon fixing, should have widespread implementation to combat climate change. Another group of researchers have taken a more proactive approach. According to ScienceCodex.com, the group of researchers have found a means of capturing carbon that could reduce the use of caustic short-lived chemicals in power station carbon scrubbers. The chemicals they are using include carbonate, similar to baking soda, and it does not break down over time. Meanwhile, BiomassMagazine.com reports on a company's research into removing carbon from pipeline gas in order to meet greenhouse gas emission targets in California. E3 has found that Southern California gas could feasibly remove either most carbonized gases from their energy or go completely renewable, possibly meeting their goals for 2050. Finally, Saxland Energy is showing that everything has a use. Reported by EnvironmentalLeader.com, the UK company is using sewage sludge from nearby farms to produce energy. Once the water is removed from the waste, it is either burned for energy or is converted into another form by bacteria. With news like this, we are going to win the game. Check out our mission at AppleseedLegacy.com. Jump into our newsreaders too, updated daily. Check us out. In society news this week, while many people think that the US Congress can't agree on anything, EnvironmentalLeader.com reports that this is not true for climate change. In an amendment to the Keystone XL pipeline bill, a bipartisan group of senators agreed that climate change was real and that human activities contribute to it. Meanwhile, the city of Hamburg, Germany, according to FastCoExist.com, is planning on burying the section of the Autobahn in its city. The space the highway occupies will be replaced with parks and will reconnect a city divided into two parts by the highway. Also, whenever GMOs are mentioned, they tend to cause quite a stir. EWG.org, however, reports on a study that indicates GMO labeling, despite the common uproar about GMOs, will do little to dissuade consumers from buying them. Nor do they increase someone's concern about GMOs at all. Interestingly, many polls say consumers still want GMO labeling. Meanwhile, Obama has called for an increased incentive for electric vehicle buyers, as reported by Autoblog.com. Obama called for the incentive to be increased to US $10,000, up $2,500 from the previous incentive. The subsidy will include both electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids. Finally, GreenTechMedia.com reports on the shifting attitude of American conservatives towards solar energy. Conservative Americans have often been resistant to solar energy, but a growing group of conservatives see this type of energy as a means to increase market competition in the energy mix, as well as a means to empower consumers. In technology news this week, the provincial government of Ontario is offering solar panels for home installation, as reported by BrockPress.com. The program, related to microfit, requires the homeowner to invest in the installation costs of the panels, but the owner of the installation will get paid a set sum amount of money by the government. According to opinionated blogs NewYorkTimes.com, energy efficiency technology is an awesome investment. While it defies most logic, spending money on making facilities more energy efficient can repay the principal in as little as 4 years and decrease the carbon footprint of a facility by up to 10%. Meanwhile, some researchers in the US have stepped outside the box when thinking about solar panels, as reported by e360.yale.edu. Instead of using many of the rare earth elements that almost all solar panels need, the new ones, dubbed solar shingles, use inexpensive elements such as copper and zinc. Meanwhile, Phys.org reports that NASA scientist Harris Reris has created a new system for monitoring methane. The goal of the system is for it to be mounted in aircraft or spacecraft and will provide very precise and continuous data on atmospheric methane. Thanks for joining us this week and every week. At Appleseed Legacy, our mission is to make significant surgical changes to the environment through business, science, society, and technology. We've been in business for a few years now, and with our staff and an army of volunteers, we are going to get there. Join us on this mission. Tell your friends, and check out our website, appleseedlegacy.com. In 2015, our mission will be expanding significantly. Why don't you hop on the bus? We are going to win this game, the good green game. Bye.